Welcome to Hot Pepper Politics. My name is Steve.
And I'm Justin.
And today we're going to talk about the burning or bust people.
First, we're going to have some habanero peppers that were grown by my roommate, Tyler.
Alright, so burning or bust people. Good or bad?
I think there's a lot of debate to be had on that topic. The two camps, I guess, are whether or not it's whether or not you're willing to concede your ideologies in order to make sure that your party, if you're a Democrat, votes, gets the vote out and gets the presidency. Though, as we talked about, it's not necessarily that burning or bust people would end up voting for Hillary.
Yeah. I would say with burning or bust, overall, it's a very unstable movement in the sense that it promotes ideological purity, not compromise. Politics is all about compromising with others. It's going towards the middle. And oftentimes it's working with people that you have many disagreements on or with, but some stuff in common that you could work with.
Yeah. I think that if you can... I think that it's good to have a certain group of people who push the forefront of what it means to be left-leaning and what it means to be a liberal-thinking person. So the people that are still burning or bust people are going to push the forefront of Democratic group.
I'll say that was probably true at the beginning, or at least for most of the way. But as the group gets smaller and smaller, as people are leaving, the people who are left are the people who are most ideologically pure, the ones who refuse to compromise on anything. And even if they are like a clear voice, eventually I feel like one they might separate and also turn on each other. But at the same time, a lot of the voice needs to appeal, at least in some way. And the more ideologically pure, the less in common it will have with the majority of people. And eventually it will be so pure that it will not be something that the community or the country wants as a whole.
Yeah, and I think that to a certain extent, when you get people that are kind of fanatics, there's an argument that communism and fascism are closer together than they are to the middle. So the people that are the adamant Bernie supporters, not to say that he's communist, well, definitely not, but people that push the edge and are so fed up with the current system might actually end up going towards people like Trump or somebody who's like willing to fight the current system, even if it's not policies that they agree with.
Also, just to add, this probably doesn't apply to the burning or bust people yet. It's more of eventually more and more people will leave the group, and it'll be that group which will never leave, and pretty much their identity becomes formed by staying there.
Yeah, but it's kind of interesting because like that's even in spite of the fact that Bernie himself is voting for Hillary and actually has encouraged his supporters to vote for her.
Mm-hmm. And at times it feels like Trump is trying to actually get the support from the burning or bust people, which is the actual antithesis, I'd argue, of Bernie himself.
Yeah. And then if we're tying in this in Canadians, this entire political spectrum, Bernie himself, kind of sits still on the right half of the Canadian political system. So we view it through a very particular lens that Bernie himself is probably the only big-name American politician that is in line with Canadian values.
Yeah. Heck, I even put like Clinton more on the conservative end, you know?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, which is weird because she is the progressive there. But we have finished near the end. Is there any last thoughts you have?
I think it'll be really interesting to see what happens with the election tonight. And in the aftermath of it, talk about what those people, those like ardent socialists, who they voted for, what happened, and how they influenced the election.
One last thing for me, I was very surprised that one of the hosts for the Young Turks I would never have imagined that he would have said on air that he was voting for Clinton, and yet he did. So I guess maybe even like the core is not so much a core in a way, you know. Maybe it is a movement that changes overall, but the jury's still out. Groups change and evolve and break apart and become anew and reinforce themselves. So we shall see. Thank you.